Joe Biden is criticizing President Trump's stance on China, while his own track record on the subject is under scrutiny. One America's Hans Hubbard has more.
Presumptive Democrat nominee Joe Biden is trying to paint President Trump as weak on China, while he himself faces accusations of being beholden to Beijing. In a statement Wednesday, Biden accused the president of not acting with enough force in response to reports the Chinese regime has forced birth control measures upon Uyghur minorities in the country's Xinjiang province, in what experts have called a type of demographic genocide. Where the president has been weak, Biden said in the statement, "I will be strong, clear, and consistent in standing up for our values." And yet, just last year, Biden had a very different vision of China.
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the west. They can't figure out how they're going to deal with the corruption that exists within the system. I mean, they're not bad folks, but guess what? They're not competition for us.
In contrast, President Trump's views on the country have been remarkably consistent over the years, with the president warning of China's anti-American attitude long before he was even a presidential candidate.
I said that China is taking advantage and abusing us like, other than OPEC, no country has ever done in the history of the United States. We are being abused by China. They are manipulating their currencies. They are taking all and I don't mean like a little bit. They are taking tremendous numbers of our jobs. They're making our products. We are rebuilding China.
And further belying Biden's current claims of seeking to stand up to China, the former vice president was, throughout his lengthy political career, a constant supporter of closer U.S.-China relations. During his time in the Senate, Biden championed China's trade designation as a most favored nation against consensus within his own party, and was a leading advocate for China's entry into the World Trade Organization. He also opposed the president's ban on travel from China at the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic, a position he later reversed as the pandemic's impact increased, even going on to blame the president for not enacting travel bans earlier in an April interview. Biden's flip on China may not simply be the product of election strategics, however, and may well signify a broader consensus on opposition to the regime arising in American politics, prompted by China's increasing disregard for international rules, as suggested by the last British governor of Hong Kong.
And I think it's very important that we stand up together, not starting a new Cold War with China, but just making absolutely clear that we will call out China when it behaves badly. But I do think it's remarkable the extent to which Chinese behavior has solidified opinion in Washington about how to deal with China, just as it's done in the UK.
And with opinions of China among Americans becoming more negative than ever before, according to surveys, and the November elections looming closely ahead, analysts predict China may figure as a key issue in America's choice of leader for the next 4 years, a choice in which voters may well look at the consistency of each candidate's attitudes on the subject.
I stood up to China like no other administration in history. For decades, they've ripped us off. They ripped us off like nobody. But the long, slow surrender is over, because today and every day we are putting now America first. America comes first.
Hans Hubbard, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.